we're taking a look at Pulse Motor 101. The date is going to be March 30th, or is it 31st?
30th.
30th. There is no 31st.
There is a 31st.
There is a 31st.
But it's 30th today.
My bad. So it's the 30th today. Tomorrow will be the 31st. All right. So it's, to make it clear, it's March 30th, 2024. Awesome. All right. Time's about 5 o'clock.
6:30.
6:30 Eastern time. And we're going to break it down. I'm going to break down the components that we have here on the table. We've got 2 coils. One is a 7-file coil. It's got 6 26 gauge strands. And it's got 1 28 gauge strand. So technically I could use that 28 gauge strand to run the trigger for the other 6 strands. This coil over here on the side is 32 gauge, 22,000 turns of 32 gauge. It's very tight. It is not particularly uniform. You see, I was a little pregnant there.
Hi, Sonny. Hi, Paige.
Hi, Boris. Awesome, awesome. Hi, Paige. What's up, Sonny? All right. So then we got a Hall effect sensor that actually makes it move. So our experiment today, right? We're just going to be taking some data. So we have a 480 watt power supply. It goes up to 25 volts and 21 watts, or 21 amps. So yeah, that's a lot. That's more than these 12 volt battery packs that I got lying around here, but they're pretty cool too. I mean, 12 volts is pretty hefty. We're going to see what that looks like in just a second. To give it like an overview of what we're going to do, we're going to look at what we put in, which will be on that meter on the power supply, and then we're going to look at what we get out on this meter over here, both DC and AC. So we'll do it real quick. In order to change that, you just change where you connected at the meter. So real quick and easy. So I'm going to turn on the power now. It should get going right around 8 or 9 volts. And it's moving. Now, because it's so much, just the amount of wire in each circuit connected to each transistor is so much longer than I'm usually dealing with. It takes a little bit longer for it to, pick up speed. But it's going pretty fast. All right, so the toroid magnets, I didn't explain those. So what we have is a toroid on the table.
Let me get a good view of that for you guys.
Yeah. So we got a toroid on the table.
It's a little blurry there.
And then we got the one on the bottom of the rotor, and they're repelling each other. And then these two on the top are repelling the one on the bottom of the rotor, but attracting the one on the table. So it acts as a clamp, allowing it to move faster and be more stable, as far as I can tell.
Thanks, Sonny. There's a good look at it. So the clamp action.
So the two on the top are attracted to the one on the table.
There you go. The one on the bottom.
Yeah, and then the one in the middle repels the one on the bottom.
So it levitates.
Yeah,
Got it.
and it's got like a magnetic pressure on there. I call it a clamp. It's a magnetic clamp. It's got, because it doesn't really interfere with how fast it goes as far as I can tell. It doesn't create too much friction that way. But I would like to see, now that I've got like a stable drive, coil circuit, that I, maybe remove the ones on the top.
Interesting.
I don't know what that would do, but I think it would raise about a 1/4 inch.
I think you're right. Because there's no pressure coming from above.
And it's a lot less weight. Oh, jokes. That's awesome. Sonny, let her eat her Lucky Charms. Peanut butter crunch. Alright, we're gonna turn this up. That's pretty not special what's happening right now. But we're gonna turn it up to 10. And then it's a 0.2. I bet that'll get down to 0.1.
So 2 watts. And then, yeah, between 1 and 2 watts, you're thinking?
Yeah. Yeah. Right now I think it's between 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think the faster this gets going, it'll keep dropping. That's what I like to think about it, is the amps get turned into speed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when it's time to take the test, we'll grab the marker and then write it all down.
The readings?
Yeah, and starting with this one.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to get it up to 15. There it goes.
Get there. We'll watch it fluctuate. There we go.
Alright, so I feel kind of like something is, like maybe the transistor blew when I turned it off last time. But we could definitely change those out if we have to. Alright. So we're up to 12, basically a 12-volt battery. It's 12.5, but I don't. My back hurts. I'm not gonna just sit here and play with it now. I'm just gonna turn it up and we're gonna leave it. It's good. Look at how fast it's going now. I mean, I don't know what it looks like through the camera, but I know that looks like it's going fast to me. Let me look at the screen up here.
Excuse me.
Clover mushroom. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So, we're going to keep going up. We're going to keep jacking up the power here. We're going to get to about 15 or 16. It's easier. It's better just to ease it up than just put it all the way up there. You might be able to go all the way up this time. No, we're going to leave it at 0.4. I wanna go 0.5 with like 15 going through it, that's not right, alright. Which one does it say we wanna do first? DC out, so.
So write this down first.
Alright.
And I got it, V comma A, so volts comma amps.
Right, I see, now I see. Alright, 15.
15.5 and 0.4.
Alright. So at 15 out, we're looking at 146 DC out. There's 15 and 4 amps in. But we're gonna do some math here and it's probably gonna equal out. So volts DC 150. We're gonna call it 150. It's already 150. And that'll keep getting up and up. Now, since we gotta change stuff around to do AC, we're not gonna do that right now. We're gonna do a tach meter reading.
Tach meter.
Alright. Almost 900. So
Yeah, I saw that page. That was awesome. Drop a like if you guys haven't. Helps out the channel. 1,000. Yeah, you can see it. Look at that. That is going 1,000 for sure. So this is where you want to take 3 and then put it in a calculator and divide by 3.
Okay. Let's see here. Remember what the first one was? 879.
Yep.
879. 10. What was it? 1005.
Yep.
And then 1012.
Right.
All right. So let's turn on our light just to see the vibrance of how much this voltage, like, it creates pretty awesome stuff here. So let's do this. That's so cool. I think a capacitor somewhere along this line though will definitely aid it from slowing down so fast.
Yeah, you could hear it step down a little bit when it turned down. But it's definitely using that wattage.
Yep.
And you can see a flicker. And that's when the magnets are hitting the coils.
And when it starts getting slower, you can see it more.
Yep.
When the rotor starts slowing down, those magnets start hitting slower and it starts pulsing slower. It'll get down to about a rate of 70, 71, 72 volts. And it'll remain steady at that pace with this much input. All right. So what you got to do here, you gotta factor in that we got 15.5 volts in and 0.4 amps. So we take our 150 DC out, which is times 10 basically, plus or minus 5. Then we got to find out how many amps that we're getting out of it, and I already know it's going to be between 35 milliamps and 20 milliamps, give or take. So that right there evens out or is way below over Unity when you do that math. You know, it's like,
If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comment box and we'll be happy to answer. We're working with this. And drop a like.
yeah. So, you know, you look and you're like, wow, it's times 10. That's awesome. And it is awesome. But then when you do the other part of the math, which is the amps, and I'll just write them down at its higher level, 0.035, is that it?
So we didn't, where did we get that off of?
Right here. I don't know if we should have the light on when we're doing it.
Yeah,
though.
so let's just cut the light off and reset.
Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna let it speed up again.
That's what I meant by reset.
Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna do. So we wanna get up to 150. And then I'm gonna switch it here, cause it's hooked up to a bridge rectifier, it'll read amps off of that. Because it's DC voltage that it needs to be read for amps. These are all DC readings over here. We're at 130 now.
And we're still hovering 15.4 and 0.4. DC out.
And what I really want to share after this is the new rotor that I'm building. Awesome. It's made for 4 magnets. I have 4 magnets for it. It was inspired by another YouTuber, and I think it's gonna be awesome if the magnets fit in the holes. I won't be devastated if they don't. I'll just change the size by a millimeter or so. All right, we're at 145. Do we want 146? All right, we'll just let it keep going up. 4 more volts. 147. 148. That's a lot of voltage. I mean, the volts that are coming out of the wall, 120. $150. Okay. All right. $26.8. And when you leave it on the amp reader, it'll slow everything down.
Right. Draw the read. 26.8 milliamps
Milliamps.
per. That's good, because we got 0.4 going in.
No, that's 400 milliamps.
Okay, 400 milliamps
This is 26 milliamps.
going out. So it's using. So the difference is what it's using.
Yeah. So yes. What I'm saying is that the 150 volts that are coming out of this thing
Mm-hmm.
are going to be called when you know what's going in equals what's coming out. Which is volts and amps. So it is what you see here is what you're going to see here. It's just going to look different. So, all right. Come on, man. The math, real quick. This
So 400 minus that.
400 minus this is gonna be
Let's see, 373.2.
nice, bro. 373.2.
And that's 400 minus 26.8.
Okay. But
So
that's not,
that's how many milliamps this setup is using to run.
no. There's a conversion going on here.
Okay. And is there any loss?
Yes, I would say that this is what's coming out. If we times, let's do it by watt.
Okay.
That's exactly what we need to do. We need to change this into watts. How much is this for watts?
0.4 times 15.5. Let's see. 15 times 4 is 6. And 0.5 times 4 is 2. Hold on. 60. 50 is, so 6.2.
6.2. 6.2 watts, and then we'll do 150 times 0.0626.8.
150 times 0.26. Let me see if I can do that.
0.026.
0.026. It's going to be 3 something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we're getting out about half of what we put in due to loss.
Yep.
See that, and you get real thrilled when you see the meter readings, right? Because you're like, yeah, man, we're doing 10x, and it's awesome because we are doing 10x in the watts, but when we factor in the amps into the equation, we're doing half of that watt.
Yeah, grab me my phone.
Okay.
Because that was a rough guesstimate, so I'm guessing it's a little closer if we do the calculation.
It's all good. I know it's going to be like maybe not exactly half less, but it's going to be less.
Yeah, for sure. So 150 times 0.026, 3.9.
Okay. All right. So that's good.
So 3.9 watts are coming out and 6.2 are going in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it's because of the two things basically right now, because only about 26 milliamps of current is being generated in this coil, which is terrible. I mean, I can get like many more times.
You guys are a riot.
All right, so like many more times with 20 gauge wire, like a spool of 20 gauge wire wrapped. The way I wrap coils gave me about almost 300 milliamps, and it was only 666 turns.
So I think the only other thing to check is the AC out.
AC out, yep.
AC volts out. And then we just list the components that we have. And this is maintaining input power. We're doing a little bit of some switch up so we can read the AC volts out. You can see the shaft there.
Thank you.
go.
Wow, about the same amount of AC volts, 165.
Okay, so that's a little higher. That's about 15 higher. So write that one down. AC volts 165. And then let's run through the data.
All right, we're gonna give an overcap.
Yeah.
Let me do one more tack reading.
Okay.
And yeah, we can run this light with AC as well.
Wow. 1174. $890. $893. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's close to 900.
900 is good, and these averaged out is gonna be about 900 as well.
Okay.
It'll be 950.
So explain a little bit about the build and what it can do.
All right, so the build is a single drive coil, which is 7 strands wound. I believe it's about 1,000 turns. So we got 1,000 turns of 28 gauge, which is 1 strand, and then there are 6 26 gauge strands. And that's pretty much that. Each, excuse me, there are only 4 connections though. 7 strands, 4 connections. And the reason is that the 28 gauge and one of the 26 gauge strands are wound parallel. They each have their own transistor for a single strand. And then 2, 3, and 4 are wound in series, or connected in series. And then 5 and 6 are connected in series. Okay, and then this generator coil has got 22,000 turns of 32 gauge in it.
That one right there.
And it generates, 165 AC at this input. So the volts are times 10, but the amps are going to be, less. Probably, well, I can't do the math right now, but it's times the number the other way. So when you put them together, you got less coming out than you do going in. Even though it looks good, it does look good. I think it's awesome just to get that much. And we got a Hall effect sensor, which is doing the switching for the transistors. And that's really spectacular. That is some good speed for this thing. I think altogether it weighs about 2.5 pounds. I mean, it weighs more than the big one in the corner because of all the toroid magnets I have on it. So that's cool. All right. Now let me run through with 6.2 watts in at 15.5 volts and 0.4 amps. We get 150 DC and 165 AC volts out of the big coil over here. And amps, we get 26 milliamps. I'm sorry. All right, 26 milliamps would make it 3.9 watts coming out and 6.2 going in. So there's a lot of loss here. This isn't efficient in any way, but it's fun.
So 2.3 watts.
2.3 watts of loss.
Right, which is a pretty out of 6.2.
That's actually pretty good.
It's close to a third. Yeah. That's
Because a lot of loss, there's a lot more loss that can happen than that.
right, and then how much of it is being used and how much of it is lost?
So like 2.3 watts is being lost and 3.9 watts is being used.
Okay.
Because it's just like how many are in minus how many came out is the answer to that.
Got it.
Oh, yeah, that's so cool. All right, you know what? I think the rotor might actually almost be done.
Yeah, check. We got one out of the 3D printer. Let's go take a look.
All right. Well, here, let me show you guys these things first.
Oh yeah, this is cool.
I'll bring them over here.
What's in the box, y'all?
It's in the bag, man.
What's in the box, man?
All right, the opening, the grand opening.
All right, drop a comment. What do you think is in the box? Oh, look at that.
Yeah, don't get too close.
Okay. Cubes.
Yeah, these are
Strong.
Yeah, you see these ones right here? And here, these ones actually have 5 millimeters on those.
Okay.
In how thick they are. So yeah, these got more tug on them. And I'm gonna put 4 of those in this thing. So let's go check it out.
All right, let's go see the 3D printed motor. Gonna take a little trek.
So we're moving kind of around stuff. There's a little bit of diagram.
Oh no!
Hi.
It's an invasion of personal space.
Oh, come on. 98% done.
Hurry up.
So those cubes are gonna go right into there. And then it's a 4-sided. So we will make a video
Yeah.
detailing this, the first spinning of this rotor.
It's gonna be awesome.
And here's the data. Here's what we got left on that. So that should be really, really cool.
Those top parts of the cube came out really good. So there's not any like overhang really drooping down. It's awesome. It's gonna be awesome.
All right, let's head back and plug in that data.
Okay. I want to see how much ampage we can get off of something like this. This is just 180 turns, 190 turns of 18 gauge wire.
All right, are you gonna cut it off?
Yep. I'm going to cut the power now, and we'll have a wind down. Actually, I'm gonna stop it. Wow, dude. I don't want to do that. Not fast enough. Oh, wow.
Was it like burning?
Yeah. Wow. It's not even really slowing down. There you go. So I was always told that more amps can flow through thicker wire. And I think that ultimately that's true. And I think with it going as fast as it's going these days, and we're in the thousands for the RPMs, that's pretty dang good.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So, what I'm gonna do is I want to separate these and these. Move this over here. Do the same with this. Cause I'm just trying to do one at a time right now. And this will go in here like so. And we will start by doing DC volts, which we're not going to get many of those. Move this out a little bit. Now, what if we do a different reading setting? We get some more results. Okay, 0.2. That's 2 volts setting.
Mike does.
Haha. All right, that is current. We're gonna get it up to the same input.
Okay. We're working with 15.
Yep, 15.5 and.
Yeah, we're working up.
What's up, Mike? What's the voltmeter say?
100. Going up still.
Almost there. Now that shaft is a little wobbly. It's like,
Yeah, so am I. But I hear you for RPMs.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got the loop around stuff hooked up. I got all the capacitors hooked up here. So we got 4 capacitors, 10-volt capacitors. You know, in the wraparound here. That's why the volts aren't going down. Or the amps. There we go. Give that a couple seconds.
Thanks for dropping in, Mike.
See ya.
All right, that's where we were before, yeah.
So we're almost to 2 volts here. I think.
He's in a work meeting in Zoom. Maybe a work meeting. That is zooming.
Overload. Alright. Look it up now. So 2 volts.
2-volt rating.
And so yeah, we're gonna let it just collect them for a second, and then I'm gonna switch it to the amp reader. I'm thinking it's gonna be somewhere around 200 milliamps. So we'll go 5 amps.
You were right about it, bro. Wow.
That doesn't seem right though. Okay. So that is 2 milliamps.
So this is what we got going in.
No. Alright, so I don't know what that reading means, but it's not like any of the other amp readings that I've done, so I don't know if I can trust it.
Is it what goes negative 0.01? And then that says 8 amps.
Yeah, that says, oh, but this is like the little U there.
Okay.
It's probably the micro amps.
Got it.
I don't understand that. Because and I want to get it out of the storage unit now, the 20 gauge coil. And the one that I made that was different gauges, 4 different gauges. I did a presentation on it. Didn't think it would play such a role. But see, that keeps, I don't know what that means. Interesting. $2 million? Oh, that might be amps. No, it can't be amps. Interesting. I don't know what that means, that reading. Huh. So,
Yeah, if anybody's watching this now or later, if you know how to interpret that reading, let us know.
probably not enough wire there for it to make really much of a difference. That's volts.
Okay. So 2 volts times 8 amps is 16 watts. 10 amps would be 20 watts.
Yeah, that,
So more out than in. Yeah.
yeah, that's not right.
So we'll do some study on it.
It's probably just because it's so small. Coil. Small coils aren't gonna have good generation output.
Okay.
But, yeah, that's good. I thought it would be more than that, but we're getting like 2 volts out of it, and I don't even know what kind of amps we're getting out of it, because only one of those meters is reading.
Maybe it's 10 milliamps. Maybe those are milliamps.
That's what I think. Let's see where we're at now.
I'm gonna Google that.
That's weird. I mean, it's not weird because that's, 22,000 turns. And this is 190 turns. So it's not really surprising me that much. Alright, so. I just love how it moves though. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap one of those coils, but I'm gonna use one of the red ones, one of the red bobbins. It'll be this big. And it'll be a 1 millimeter wire, like 18 gauge wire. It's right here.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it was 666 turns of 4 different strands. I had 32, 28, 26, and 20. All wrapped up in the same one so I could do all the experiments all at once. And then I was getting almost 300 milliamps.
Nice.
Beautiful. All right, yeah.
Everybody, thanks for dropping in.
Thank you very much.
Doing some experiments.
Yeah.
Drop a like, drop a comment if you got any questions.
Gravity isn't only a force, it's a power.
Yeah.
And I would say that, power can, control the power. Oh, that is so cool. I'm glad I decided to hook that up.
Yeah.
Because I was working with all the small coils and they just weren't performing like this guy does. But these capacitors are really helping out. But I want to make basically the same coil as this, but I want to make it about that big. Just use the red spool over there. That's what I'm gonna do. Heck yeah, that's gonna be. And then we'll probably get a little bit better readings. I'm thinking maybe 5 volts, but those amps should be going up, like more so.
Yeah.
All right, so I mean the rotor is virtually done now. We're gonna make a video about that after I put the magnets in and you know, test it out, see if it works. This toroid magnet right here is gonna go on the bottom of that, and this is how I center it.
Oh, nice.
So
Yeah.
how they stay centered is I magnetically clip it to this ring here that has a 1/4 inch hole in the center,
Yeah.
and I just put it all on the pole and glue it down. It's pretty simple.
That's how we do these guys. On the top there.
So I'm just praying that the boxes, the openings that I made for my magnets are the perfect fit. Just slide them right in. Some glue, some Gorilla Glue. And they're going to be opposing each other, I believe. So it's going to be tricky. But I'll make it work. Yeah, I'm going all north or all south. I'm not messing around with stuff that I haven't, you know, endeavored yet. Stuff that I haven't tried yet. That's why these ones are all the same way too. I was gonna do them, you know, north south, but they're all north. And that, you know, when I hook that up, get a coil, just plop it right here.
Mm-hmm.
Should go, should work just like this one does. Actually, I have another coil just like that one. Ha. Yeah, you like that one? Ultimate? Me too, man. Alright. Oh man, I'm so excited. Can't focus, I'm so excited.
That's good. Well, the excitement is good.
Still got good execution there.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, this was my first one that I printed, but all the holes are cut in half, like diagonally. So there's like a diagonal space. It's weird. I don't know how that happened. But the ones that the one I just made is right. I just hope that it works. And that one's really heavy because that one was 95% filled. This new one that I made is only 25% in fill. So it'll be lighter, and spin easier.
What up, Peter?
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going? Using this as a collector coil. I'm trying to get some amp readings off of it. I'm not really getting that much love from this thing. We got like 10 milliamps. But it's only 190 turns of 1 millimeter wire. All right. It's good to hear, man. Good to hear. All right. So look at how beautiful this thing is moving. That is spectacular. Yeah, I was trying to get current through this little thing right here. And it's not doing it. This one has more current than this one. This one only has about 26 milliamps though. I don't have any cores that'll fit. I mean, I could stuff them. You know, I could wrap like tape around them, make them so they fit. But it won't be centered.
That's a big one.
Yeah, it's a pretty big hole. All I have is a 1/2 inch thing and 12 millimeter. So this is the size core I have.
And how big is that one?
This one is 6 inches by 1/2 inch.
1/2 inch, all right.
Yeah.
And those holes are how big again?
Oh, I don't know. They're about 1/4 inch or 3/4 inches.
Or 3/4 or 5/8 or something.
Yeah, 5/8 maybe.
Okay, I see now.
Then I got a shaft one that can also work as a core, but it's about 1 foot long.
Nice.
I don't have any like saw material, like tools that'll cut steel. I don't have a saw like that. I kind of wish I did, but I don't. It'd be great to, you know, put forth enough effort to get enough support that I could get it so that I can make cores that'll fit in the coils that I'm building. That won't stick out the butt so far. So yeah, actually all my experimental coils, except for these 2 big ones, are in the storage unit right now. We moved them all out. I said I was going to make new ones, which I'm totally capable of doing with the stuff I have here. But this wire is really killer. It's like, why even make this stuff? This is 42 gauge.
Wow. So it's like a thread.
Oh, it's thinner than that, but yeah.
Okay.
And like you even try and spin this stuff and you break the spools, so you gotta have it on like bearings.
Okay.
But look at that. Look at that spool. Look at, if I could put a bearing in here. If I could put a bearing up in here, this would be a really awesome like coil bobbin.
Dude, yeah.
Alright. So there's not much more I really want to do with like adding or taking away stuff. Like I said, all the stuff is in storage unit. But I would like to make a tachymeter reading. But we are just about to put together a nice rotor. Okay, that's not good. 14, 38, 32. Shoot. About 900 RPMs.
Nice.
And that's at 15.5.4. really do think that the loop-de-loop stuff that I did with all the circuitry over here is really helping out. I mean, the amps are a little high. That's because there's so much more current going on. There's 4 capacitors bursting energy into the beginning of this coil here. All right. That's so cool. So I got a to-do list, like a not a to-do list, but a shopping list. Number 1 on the list is mica. Yeah, I'm noticing that the higher the voltage, the more current can flow. Because the voltage is so low in this little coil right here, there's not a lot of current that can flow, but the max amount of current that can flow through this wire is 2.3 amps. So you're telling me if I put a hexagonal iron core, or that iron core that I showed you wrapped in like a t-shirt or something, yeah, that's exactly what it is. But it, I think I'm gonna make a bigger one for an actual, attempt at a generator coil. At least 666 turns. Yeah, but even if I put a metal core in that, how much current could it actually increase? Is it like significant enough for me to actually try and find a core that size? Is it? I mean, here I know what I can do. Does it have to be like touching? Is what I'm getting at. Does it have to be connecting? Touching the plastic. All right, so let's go.
Yes, it does.
Well then, I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah. So it went up by 2.
Yeah.
And are those full amp? That can't be full amps. It's got to be milliamps, microamps.
What does that mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I admit there's a huge difference. So the bigger coil that I make, I'm gonna put this in it. The whole thing. It's gonna be it was the one I showed on the stream the other day. Like the medium-sized white bobbin. Not this big, but the one just smaller than that. Probably use the red one, and it'd be about the same size.
My man, dozen
Thank-
years
Heck yeah. Thanks for your help.
for sure.
Really appreciate that. So yeah, I need a bigger core for that one. I have these aluminum cores or rods as well. And does aluminum have a similar effect, even though it's not magnetic? No. Yeah, wow, I came up from nothing. That's cool. I like that. So I can stuff this though, right? So like if the hole is bigger, all right, sweet. That's it. That's all I need to know. So like it doesn't matter if the hole's bigger, just as long as it's kind of in the middle, right? Maybe a few. But I think most of them are not metal.
I don't even know if I have metal hangers, dude. I'll look later.
That's so cool. And then I wonder then if I put it in this one, stuff it and put it in here. But, you know, when I stuff it, it won't be touching, it'll be stuffed.
Oh, wow.
Stuff it with a coat hanger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Wow.
So you can just use the coat hangers as a core.
And one at a time until you can't get any more in there. Until we can.
No, that's cool. But I would probably more than likely just use the long part and cut that into as many parts as I needed and just the straight parts and not worry about straightening out the
Okay.
hook part.
So-
Just cut the hook off. And I'd be like, yeah, no, it's not so.
I see.
I get it.
Hammer it in. Yeah.
So you're talking about stuffing those around this and putting this in the middle? No? Well, that would probably be a lot easier for me and probably do what I would do. Because I have this, you know. I'm going to use it because I have it. But yeah, definitely to make it fatter.
Oh, he said, yeah. Do
Yeah.
what you do. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I totally understand that.
That makes sense. Totally. So you can get the core with a metal hanger. Yes.
Yeah, you can make a core out of a metal hanger. And that's awesome.
Totally cool, man.
And I mean, it's better than this one in a way because it'll be a nice tight fit. But if I get it. Perfect. And wow, now I just feel bad that I put all my toys, like just my coils that I built just before I put everything away, were meant for experiments for a rotor that goes basically this fast, about 1,000 RPM. Oh, nice. Cool.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, like back in the day when we were smoking weed and we didn't have a bowl, that's when my ingenuity would kick in.
Yeah.
And I would make the most fascinating contraptions that anybody had ever seen. And like 8 milk jugs. And somehow, you know, it would all come together and you'd get a nice big hit off of this thing. And it'd be like smoke everywhere.
Yeah.
That was the point.
That was the point.
Yeah. But like my neighbor asked me to take apart a typewriter, which was an obviously old typewriter, and I couldn't, loosen up any of the pieces, so I went at it with a hammer, and then I gave it back to him, and I said, "I'm sorry. Here's some pieces that I got off of it," and he looked at me, and I was like, well, his look was more priceless than mine. And I felt so bad because I didn't understand that I wasn't supposed to break it apart. I mean, like, it wasn't like coming apart. And he just gave it to me, man. And I was like 10 years old. I'm like, come on now, what do you think was going to happen?
Mm-hmm. Nice. When did you build your first pulse motor?
My first pulse motor? 2021.
Okay.
Yeah, my first one was, might even be up here.
Yep.
The first one was just this, one of these with magnets on the outside, and then I bought solenoid magnet. It's what they call them online, solenoid magnets, but it's really just an electromagnet.
Mm-hmm.
And my reed switch. Yeah, I know, right? And this thing was wobbly as just and then I got lots of stuff on Facebook that I can't get off of Facebook to post on my YouTube channel. So I don't know, that BS has got to end soon.
Yeah, the social media wars.
Yeah, that BS has got to be over soon. Because can't really wait around. This was my second rotor that lasted, still works.
Mm-hmm.
These magnets right here were timed with the ones outside. So these were north, and then these were south. So I could use a regular switch to make it all work. I mean, like a reed switch. So when this one would hit, it would be on the north one. And it would just skip right over the south one because there's no south magnet in the middle. I eventually got into screwing like base magnet structures into this rotor, which is a good idea, but everything's basically held onto this through magnetism. I love this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one came, actually that one on the ground next to the kickstand over there came first.
With the 3D printer.
Yeah, that was the first one I did, and I did it vertically, so
Mm-hmm.
it printed like the moon.
This one right here.
Instead of like a pizza.
With the square magnets.
Yeah, with the square magnets. And the magnets fit right in. I was like, yes, that is awesome. I glued them in there, and haven't found a great use for it yet, but it works phenomenally well with these toroid magnets. The distance that the magnet, just everything works out proximity wise, so it'll levitate, but not directly on the magnets. All right. Then the big one in the corner, 12 magnet rotor. You've seen that one. And that's pretty much it. I mean, we got this thing, but I gotta put tape on it so the magnets don't come off.
Yeah.
It's got 2 ceramic bearings in it. But the one that I'm printing off right now is gonna be freaking spectacular. Yo, Peter, man, I gotta show you this. This is like a stereo, a prototype, because it printed wrong. It's gonna look like that. And then magnets are gonna go in these slots right here, get glued in. And you know, it's got 4 magnets. It's a total of 6 inches. So it's like the middle here is 4, and then it sticks out an additional 2, 1 on each side. So I would call that a 6-inch diameter rotor.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's gonna be awesome. And you know what? I think it's done, but I'm not. I don't know.
Yeah, you want to peel it off?
Yeah, let me make sure I got. Yeah, I got it.
The scraper.
Scraper's over there. I can
Yeah, it should be done now. We'll go get it on this live. Got to do a little. I'll put. Yeah. He's like, you have more rotors than he has reed switches. Here we go.
Awesome.
I was just sitting here looking at that, and you know, it was done.
This one printed right.
Nice.
I didn't feel like saying anything.
You want to go on camera?
I guess.
Okay. Say hi.
Hi.
That's Donut making the comments. That turned out really nice, bro. Yeah, Peter's excited about that. I'll put it back on the rotor. Getting the excess off of it.
And I got the 1/2-inch bearings coming in the mail. This one actually does weigh about half
As
as
much.
much as the other one does too. That one's drooping a little bit. We could probably work around that. It's all right. It's close enough. And I got the mallet. No, I didn't bring the mallet though. I got one over here on the sofa. Good 8-pounder. All right. These are the magnets that are going to go in here eventually. Oh, nice. Fits.
Oh my goodness. Nice work. Yep. Okay. Oh yeah, bro.
Oh, that fits like a glove, man. That fits like a condom. Wow. Ah, yeah. So I think some Gorilla Glue in there, and then we put it in, we hammer it down, we let it set, and probably gonna take a whole day to do this right, because once you get it in there, I think it's close enough that when you put it in this side, it's gonna pop that one right out. So
Right.
it's gotta dry and set.
Before.
Yeah.
Okay. Doing the opposite. Or near, or the next one. Nice. He says that's going to fly.
Yeah, I know, right?
That is going to fly.
It's all right. Your phone must have died.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's all good. Well, there we go. I don't know. That's funny. All right. So we'll adjust this.
Snakes and tracksuits. Nice.
Huh.
Did you want to do a little conclusion and summary and then wrap it up? And if any questions come in, we'll answer them.
Yeah. Um, Not really, Peter. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, I understand that, and well, I understand that much. I just don't understand how frequencies are made. I understand it's something about a cycle. It has to do with hertz. Um, yeah, pulse motor. Little chickens. Every time the coil shuts off and on, it creates a wave.
Okay. And that wave is the frequency. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, for every magnet, there's a frequency. Because that's when it happens. When the magnet passes in front of the Hall effect, it'll turn it on or off depending on which kind you have.
And this is where the sines and the tangents come in, cosines.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, absolutely not. This actually runs 6.2 watts in, 3.9 watts out. This is not free power. So how many magnets on the rotor? There's nine magnets on this one currently. So I'd say it's not the fastest or highest frequency, but I would say that it has its benefits for its size. I think torque is one of the main benefits. It's not too torquey, but it's not, because it'll go about 1,000 RPMs. But it has more torque than, say, 4 or 2. Oh, I know. The frequency would be the same because it's spinning that much faster. The RPMs are that much more. Yeah, we just did math like that with our voltage and our amps coming in and going out. Because we had a voltage of 150. But I'm like, yeah, okay, we got 15 volts going in, 150 coming out. But how many amps do we have going in? We have 400 milliamps going in, and we have 26 milliamps coming out. Ah! All right, so
Yeah, if you wanted to run through a review.
okay, we've got, this is a drive coil right here. We've got a 28 gauge strand, which has about 1,000 turns. They all have about 1,000 turns. We have one 28 gauge strand hooked up to its own transistor. We have one 26 gauge strand hooked up to its own transistor. We have a 2, 3, 4, and hooked up in series. These are all 26 gauge, hooked to its own transistor. We've got 5 and 6 hooked in series to its own transistor. So we have 2 series circuits and 2 parallel circuits in this one coil. 4 connections, 4 transistors, 7 strands. So obviously we have some series in there. All right, and then they all have a loop. So any energy that it doesn't spend the first time, if it's all saturated and everything's, it'll spin around, it'll recycle it through a cap back to the front of the coil, back to the start of the drive. So that's basically, looks something like that. And then it goes down right here. All right, so that's done. And then we were trying to collect some amps off of this coil. There's just not enough wire here to get anything. It's 190 turns. It work better as a drive, work better in the drive circuit than it would in any kind of collector circuit. The DU cap. To-do cap. All right. We've got this coil here, which is 222 gauges, 32 gauge, 222,000 turns, sorry, of 32 gauge, single strand. It generates about 30 milliamps at its peak. It's terrible for something that needs to be balanced. Got the Hall effect sensor, which runs this thing. So, in conclusion, I think as an old guy that I used to watch, I still watch him. The coil is the heart of the pulse motor. Hall effect.
Boom!
And this is awesome.
I like how you said that. The core is the coil is the heart of the pulse motor.
It is. And that's why everything, all the power goes into the coil first and out of the coil, then to the transistor, then to the breadboard. It goes into the coil first, then to the breadboard.
And it has a pulse. Heck yeah.
So, I don't know, that's 10. That 26 gauge wire really helps though.
Close up of that.
And that's what we've been running our experiments on that level the whole night.
Mm-hmm.
Smaller wire, when used for a drive coil, keeps the amperage draw down to run the motor. All right, here we go. This sounds healthy. So it's slowly climbing.
Excuse me.
Is that your speed? Is that what you got on yours?
Oh, that's what he was guessing.
No, 730.
Ooh, solar panel question.
See, I see capacitor to store surplus energy. So what about adding solar panel like 150 watt? Yeah, I would solar something. I might want to take a little like a block of my driveway, make it a solar roadway. But yes, 150 watts sounds awesome.
That's it. That would be a fun convergence. So maybe we'll hit up Craig later on if we get into the soul. Interesting. Look at you guys. See if you can type in Latvian. $12,000 RPM.
There we go.
811.
There it is.
Oh. Oops. There it is. 1070. So yeah, I wonder.
But I mean, like,
Because solar needs inverter. I'll think about that one.
yeah, yeah, I'm willing to do some solar, like maybe even have this thing run on solar.
Mm.
But I think I'd rather go with Bruce Saw
Yeah.
and solar roadway.
Solar roadway.
Absolutely, all the way. That's where it started out for me, and that's probably where it's going to go for me.
Yeah. That's funny.
Oh my Lord. What are we talking about now? Is it my kids are they're singing Russian vodka songs?
Yeah, I don't know what they're typing. Maybe Peter does. Yeah.
Man, I'm so excited about this though.
Yeah, let's take another look at it.
Then I'll use this bad boy and just make it all nice and tight. Awesome.
All right, so let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
If anybody has any last questions, drop them in the comment section.
And I will be posting a video with that completed hopefully later on this evening. But yeah, thank you very much for everybody for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this. We'll have more experiments to do the next live stream. I will collect more data. And if, spontaneous thought processes is what I'm interested in. If you look at this and you see something that you might, that's what I'm going to do, that you might want to have done, that you might want to test out, that you were wondering about, anything like that. We'll see if we can't hook it up and see whether it works or not. And there was this one, I think it's called a SG flyback loop. And I have battery packs now, and I want to try and, these are rechargeable batteries. So yeah, I want to try and do that. Have it like throw it back and forth. I guarantee, I guarantee so hard that it's probably, I mean, it's supposed to work based on the field that is generated during, on the collapse or the expansion. Awesome. Yeah, that would be great. And then we could get it off the grid. I mean, it doesn't take too much power, but that would be great.
Solar convergence. And then, as Jack Sparrow would say, kind of say,
Right.
why is the vodka always gone?
Right.
Oh,
All right.
never mind, that was bad.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna get me back on track.
Sorry, dude.
Because I was,
You were wrapped up. You're good.
yeah, I was completing a thought. So, yeah, basically, I'm gonna be doing things that spontaneously pop into my head. I'm gonna have more toys to play with the next time, so more things will spontaneously pop into my head. If things spontaneously pop into your head, please don't be afraid to say something.
Yeah, we want to make this interactive and, suggestive, and we want to take your
If you want to blow
suggestions.
my socks off, you need to move the reed switch there to the third dot on the freaking thing, man, and you're just gonna blow your mind. And I move it there and it blows my mind. That's a good thing. Heck yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, keep going. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna get cracking on that rotor, and my bearings will be here tomorrow if I can't find two to put in there. So that'll be great. All right, thank you very much. Bye now. Have a good day. Good night.